Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Kind of Everything podcast. We're on episode 4 this week. I'm sorry about the delay. I've been a little bit busy. I'm your host, Naz. This is your host, Mr. Tommy. Give me a smooch. Mwah. Thank you, Mr. Tommy. So, before we get into anything, I just want to say I experienced something very special the last following week. I went on my first ever solo trip. I don't know if you can see my tan line. Thank you very much. Honestly, in my mind, I had so many things to do. I was like, I'm going to do 20 excursions. Hello, brain lag. I'm going to create like 50 content. I'm going to post on Instagram and freaking TikTok. But then I was like, hold on a second, girl. Hold on a second, girl. We are doing this for us. We're not doing this for all the friends on Instagram or the people on social media. I'm going to go on this trip for me. It's my first ever solo trip. I went to Spain. Also, Spain won the World Cup. You're welcome, guys. I stepped foot, and what do you know? What do you know? We've won. Thank you. Anyways, and I genuinely just enjoyed it. Woke up at 6 a.m., had my breakfast, straight to the beach, came home, showered, straight for dinner. It was amazing. I had the time of my life. And will I be returning? Yes, I will. Thank you. Right. So it was also my birthday, July the 13th. I shouldn't be saying my birthday online, but at the end of the day, shoot me. Like, what am I going to do? It's my birthday. Okay. It was my birthday and I had the time of my life, must I say. The reason for the trip was because of the birthday. Let's just pop that there. And I think this following birthday has made me feel so grateful for the people around me and so grateful for the experiences that I've experienced. I know I'm someone who, if you're my friend, you probably heard me say this a million times. I always call myself a bad luck person because genuinely everything that could go wrong in my life does go wrong. Unfortunately, I don't know if it's evil eye. I don't know if I'm being tested. I don't know what it is. But I feel a tad grateful for life, for breathing, for walking, for being able to chew and eat and swallow my food, for the roof of my head, for Mr. Tommy here, who's keeping me very hot and stimulated right now. Genuinely felt very grateful. I don't know if it was the UV index being at 8 or the heat wave we've had, which I love, must I say. Everything's been great. Today's topic is about friendship breakdowns. I'll discuss my own downfalls and share a little bit of wisdom now that I'm getting old. Give you guys some good advice about the handy dandy friendships. Right. I'm going to start from the very beginning. As kids, we have no expectations of friendships. For example, we'll meet someone on the playground, someone who we're running around with, best friend, immediately. Somebody who we're coloring in with in class, best friend, immediately. For me, my best friends was someone who would know how to make stickers and also someone who I coincidentally wore the same outfit with on the first day of my school. I had such a pull about having best friends. I always knew that I will have a best friend. Immediately, if I moved schools, found a best friend. I was someone who's very bubbly, likes to talk, and loves a good best friend. As I grew older, however, the term best friend weakened. I didn't know what to do with it because I still truly did believe in best friends, but everyone around me didn't. Schools is where I thought best friends blossomed. I was very much a waffler, like to yap to everyone. I knew immediately that I will make best friends. I knew immediately to bring out the quietest person and make them feel comfortable. I knew 100% that I felt comfortable with myself. There was something, however, that my mom used to always tell me, which was never trust everyone. My mom used to tell me not to trust people. And in my head, I was like, this woman does not know what she's talking about. What do you mean not trust anyone? How are you not going to trust anyone and build relationships, build friendships? You need to trust people in order to build a connection, mother. But in her ethnic little mind, she's come from abroad, migrated to the UK. In her mind, she's very cautious about everything. In my mind, I'm like, what does she know? However, my mom also experienced friendship breakdowns when she was back home and in the UK. But my little brain didn't acknowledge that. I was like, she was doing it wrong, probably. She wasn't trusting them enough. She wasn't giving 100% to her friendships. And that is why she's where she's at. However, little did I know, my mother knew exactly what she was talking about. And I wish I had followed that advice. To some degree that I did follow her advice, I did not trust everyone 100%. And really, naturally, as human beings, we don't really trust anyone 100% because there's always that small percentage of cautiousness of who is that person truly? Can I truly trust them? I can guarantee you there's a lot of people in your life, whether it's your friendships, your families, or your relationships, where you haven't told them everything about yourself. It could be a minor little detail, it could be something major, it could be something you've done and you're hiding. But let me know if it is something you're hiding because I am now nosy. I want to know. But naturally, we don't trust anyone 100%. When I got to college, I made my first true best friendship. I'm going to call her Daisy. Daisy was my first friendship breakup. And to this day, I still mourn the friendship I had with Daisy. I still grieve it a little bit. So during the time I was in college, and how we became friends was so unusual. It was kind of bizarre, actually. I will take full credit for it. Okay. So we were never actually direct friends, Daisy and I. We always had a mutual friend. We'll never hang out alone. There would always be someone in the room if we're hanging out. Because I don't really know her. She didn't really know me. We only knew her from external friends. We were connected through a group, okay? I never met her directly. I met her through XYZ. And one day, all of our mutuals had a class. All of our mutuals had somewhere to be. It was only Daisy and I who had a 2-hour break. And what did we do? We went to the cafeteria, sat there for the whole of 2 hours on our phone, scrolling. On what? I don't know. Probably Snapchat at the time. Who knows? And Daisy and I did not speak. So when Daisy started to form a little bit of a conversation, a little bit of lighthearted, how's it going? Asking about the weather. When she started asking me little light questions about life and how my classes were, the emo, depressed brain of mine at the time had snapped. And I was like, Daisy, there is no point of us having this conversation. There's no point of you asking anything about me. We're not friends. We're never going to be friends. You don't care about me. So don't ask me questions. Something along those lines. And Daisy, I feel like felt offended. She was like, what do you mean? Like, we are friends. I'm like, no, bro. We've never spoken to each other. We've never hung out alone. The only reason why we're friends is because of XYZ. There is no reason for us to be acting fake right now. And whole time, guys, I was in therapy. I was depressed. I was going through emo phase. I was wearing only black. I was listening to Paramore. I was going through it. Okay. So that was a little outburst, unfortunately, landed on Daisy's lap. However, little did I know that this little outburst led to a friendship that blossomed. I kind of offered Daisy, with the little creative mind that I have, that maybe we should write a letter to each other about something that nobody knows about ourselves. So that's what we did. So for, I don't know, 30 minutes, an hour, we started writing letters, front and back, couple pages, and we folded them very small and passed it to the other person. Daisy gave me her letter and I gave mine to her. We sat there across from each other on a round table reading that letter to ourselves in our brains. Nobody spoke a peep. And I can't remember what I wrote in my letter, but I remember exactly what Daisy wrote in hers. And since that day, I don't know what the hell happened to my brain chemistry. We clicked. This was my friend for life. We hung out without mutuals. We were always together, inseparable. Every time I had a break, texting Daisy, where you at? This was a friendship in college that I've never experienced. Then college ends, and you think maybe the friendship ends too. And no, girl. We hung out every opportunity we could have. We would go to Chaiwala together and get that karak chai. Also, I used to hate it, but Daisy loved it, so it grew on me. It does taste like dish soap in a way. Then we would go to the mall and walk around, and Daisy would come to the bookstore with me because I love to read. And we'll go on little drives for 4 hours. We'll sit in the car and laugh about silly little things. Daisy was someone that I felt so connected to. She was my sister. We will talk about life, our families, our, I don't know, religion, relationships. I would speak about everything. When my mom said don't trust anyone 100%, out the window. This is my sister. I'm trusting her with every being of my body. Like, this is the woman who's my kids are going to call Auntie Daisy, where she's going to be my maid of honor, where she will witness everything about my life because I never had a sister. So immediately when I clicked with her on a whole deeper level, this was it. She was a sister I never had. Daisy has 3 sisters, but I had none. So this was genuinely womanhood for me, you know? If I had an outfit question, I'll ask her. If I had a lady question, I'll ask her. If I needed a heart to heart, she was the person. This was someone who I genuinely, like, this was my best friend. However, one day Daisy sent me a message where she thought that we didn't align and that she thought I had changed, and also that I replied very, very slow to her messages. Out of 3 of those things, only one I feel like I could fight a little bit. The thing with Daisy and I is we were Texas. We very occasionally would call. We would mostly be interacting in person. When we text, we had a kind of unspoken understanding. She would reply late. I would reply late. It's okay. Life happens. It's fine. However, when Daisy said that about the text message, my brain was immediately confused. I thought we had an understanding. I thought it was fine. Life gets in the way, stuff like that. But when she said that she didn't feel like we aligned and she felt like I changed, that I can't argue with. I could never invalidate someone who feels like we don't kind of, I don't know what the word is. Like, we just don't fit together anymore. I can't invalidate how someone feels if they feel like I had changed, even though I felt like I had not changed. I was just doing things that were very different to what Daisy would call a hobby, maybe. So, I don't know. I guess I was streaming at the time, and that feels very unusual to a lot of people that were in my IRL circle. They would think, streaming, what are you doing that for? But I don't know if that was the main reason. But she said I changed, and she also said that we didn't align anymore, which, fair enough, can't invalidate that. But when I heard that, I just genuinely felt like there is nothing I can do for this friendship. Like, this is it. Because in my head, if someone thinks you've changed, or if someone thinks that you've aligned with the way that she worded the message, I just felt like she was telling me, bye bye, honey. This is done now. So then on, I was heartbroken. I was like, fuck, like, I've just lost the greatest friendship of my life. There was nothing I could do about it. Just to accept it. Slowly, slowly, our messages just stopped happening. We fizzled out. We did. And in the moment, it felt like the worst thing that had happened to me. I would ask my other friends, I would call up my dearest cousin, and I'd be like, what do I do? Like, what do you think I should do? I'm not really sure how to save this. And even though I would have good advice from XYZ, it genuinely didn't feel savable in that moment. I still mourn this friendship. It really does break my heart. I've been friends with Daisy for such a long time, I think 7+ years. We went on our first girls trip to Morocco together. She was the person I would go to. I really did give 100% of myself to this friendship. She knew everything about me. There was not a single secret I had when it came to this friendship. It was the most purest and most greatest friendship I ever experienced. I'm not trying to downplay all the other friendships, but this was genuinely my sister. One day, Daisy messages me a couple of months ago, actually, and invites me to her wedding. I don't know how to respond. I did not go because I had other commitments. But hearing her invite me to her wedding after we had not spoken for such a long time, there was no clearing of the air, kind of made me feel a bit uneasy and a little bit not uncomfortable, but in my head I thought if I had cancelled my plans and gone to this wedding, I wouldn't know what to do. I wouldn't know what to say. I wouldn't know, like, I knew her whole family, which adore them. In my brain, I was like, I don't know. Like, what would I even say to her? I haven't spoken to her in years. I'll go to her wedding and say, what? Congratulations, have a good one. Oh, look at the weather. It's very sunny outside. Like, what would I say? I don't know. I haven't spoken to her in so long. I didn't want my first interaction after years of not speaking to her to be 2 words. Because I genuinely value her as a person. I adore her. Genuinely the loveliest person ever. So it felt unnatural for me to just show up at her wedding, say congratulations, and sit there in the back like a stranger. So yeah, I didn't go, unfortunately. I'm not a person who holds a grudge towards anyone. I hope the very, 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 very best for Daisy in her life, in her all her endeavors. And if I can just wish like someone in life to have all the best things, it would be her. She's genuinely a great person. It is sad that the friendship ended, but something I took from this is 2 things. One, don't put everyone on a pedestal, because when you put value into people, when you put your 100% into people, at the end of the day, naturally, when they move on in life and when you move on in life, you wouldn't be as devastated as you could be. Because I was absolutely depressed. I was like, I've lost my friend. I looked at other friendships and I was like, they don't even account to like a percentage of what this was. You know, this like genuinely was my sister, and I never experienced having a sister in my life. And this is who I looked up to for that at the time. So that was one thing that I learned. And the other thing that I learned from this was people come and go. It could be your friends, it could be your colleagues, it could be someone you knew, your neighbor. People are just in your life to teach you a lesson. This was the greatest lesson I learned, not a negative lesson. This was something I truly cherish. I always think about her ever so often. But people are made to be in your life to kind of shape your decisions in life, to kind of shape what direction you might walk into. At the end of the day, everything is a life lesson. No one is here to stay forever. We're all actually going to die. Surprisingly, I don't know if you know that. Don't know if that's like a shocker to some of you, but people come and go, and that is okay. Right. If there was a graph for all the reasons, or like a pie chart of all the reasons of why I have lost friends, I think I would have 2 main categories. The first one is what we just discovered, that people naturally just grow apart. I've outgrown, and some people have outgrown me so many times. It happens. I think the best thing to remember is that it is okay. No one is committing a crime. At the end of the day, you could know what someone for 7, 8, 9, 10 years. You could be diaper babies, diaper friendships with someone, and grow up to realize that this person just doesn't fill your cup. And that is okay. It's not the end of the world. We are all made to grow. We are all made to change our decisions. Our personalities are not even the same. And it's fine. You grow, you become someone else, you learn who you are in life. And sometimes you just keep growing and keep changing. And that is fine. I think changing and being a different person is not a bad thing. And it is okay to be someone new. And it's exciting in a way. Like, you discover new things about life and you discover new things about yourself. And maybe I believe that oranges were the best fruit on the planet. And today I believe it's bananas. It is okay to have different choices and different beliefs and different decisions. Some things that you believe in might not match up with someone else who's been your friend for 20 years. I think we should accept how people are unless it doesn't fill our cup. My second category is that the reasons why some of my friendships have fallen apart throughout the years is because some people are just simply bad vibes. Oh my goodness. I've heard this from other friends as well who mention like friendships that have ended. And it seems to be quite a common thing. I can't stand it when a friend is bad vibes, is bitter, or a little bit envious or a little bit, I don't know. If a friend is draining my energy, I won't meet up with you ever again. I'm so sorry. There's been times where, you know, I like to be around people and I like to kind of make them feel comfortable. But if you are draining my energy and I'm so super silent, I am done. I'm so sorry. I can't be around people. It's not even about social battery. Social battery is a whole different thing. A mental energy loss is something so different. A mental energy loss, I'm feeling like crap at the end of this hangout. I'm never coming out ever again. Believe me when I say that. I also don't like friends who struggle to be supportive, who are very bitter, who are jealous. Get out of here. I can give you guys an example is I've had so many like close friends throughout the years. I'm going to think about a specific group of people. And I used to do social media. At the time, I was friends with them. I used to stream. These were IRLs. And I used to hang out with them every weekend. And they would never support me in anything I was doing online. I was creating content. They would not like it, not comment on it. And yes, they don't owe me anything. They don't have to do that. But the second I met another group of friends, this year actually, and these were friends from my secondary school, and they would do little things like reposting my video or liking my video or comment on my video. And every time they would repost it, I'd be like, oh my goodness, I can't believe you've just done that. You've just put my video in your story. Why would you do that? And they were like, nah, this is totally normal. Like, well, you're my friend. I'm supporting you. And I was like, hold on a second, Tommy. This is what supporting is? Because my previous friends never did that. And when my actual friends did it, I was like, wow, this is what supporting means. Being happy for someone, even if you're not on the same wavelength or if you're not on the same page or you're not in the same pace in life with them, is what a friend should do. Just be supportive. If you're experiencing something where I'm going to just throw something out there. If your friend is getting married, why on earth would you not be happy for them? Like this is such first world problems, but like, why would you not support if your friend is trying to make content and you can see they've got 5 likes, no comments, they're barely like making it through. Why would you not support that? Why would you not show them that you care about what they're doing? Why would you not show an interest in their hobbies? Content creation could be a hobby or it could be something they want to pursue as a career. Why would you not show any support? Screw content creation. Let's talk about real life. If your friend has achieved something so major in their life, why would you not want to celebrate that? Why would you not want to tell them that, you're so proud of them and they've achieved something? There's friends who know their friends have graduated from school or who knows their friend has gotten a major new job and radio silent. Why? Oh my goodness, why? I don't understand it. I don't understand people like that. And honestly, stay away from me. I just can't deal with bad vibes. Friendship is not give and take. Don't get me wrong. It is not give and take. Maybe in some circumstances, people can argue that it is. But in my little fairy tale brain, it's not. But showing support in someone you love and someone you care for shouldn't even be a requirement of friendship. It should just be a human response. If I'm on the street and I see someone wearing a happy birthday badge, oh my God, it's her birthday, I will go up to her and say, happy birthday, girl or boy. If I see someone on the street and I don't know, she's wearing a bridal Hindu, I would give it like, woo. Like at the end of the day, we're all human beings. We need to support each other. It is fine. If I'm not married or it's not my birthday, it doesn't mean I have to be bitter about everyone else who's happy and successful. Hello? Get with it. I can't deal with negative people. I can't deal with bad vibes friendships. Get out of my face. I don't even want to hear that point of view. I don't want to hear but everybody's happy around me and I can't do it. Get out of my face, honey. I don't want to hear it. Right. I feel like we've come to the end of the party. I can't remember any other friendships where I've learned any form of lessons. I just want to give you guys one last advice. Please do not feel trapped in a friendship because you know someone for such a long time. If you feel like they're draining your energy, if you feel like they don't match what you believe in life, or if you feel like they don't fill your cup, let it fizzle out. I feel like carrying a friendship that has no meaning, I know this is really harsh, but it kind of feels like dead weight. If someone's being mean to you, if someone's making jokes to make everyone else laugh, and the joke is you, by the way, you don't need that person in your life. At the end of the day, you live once. Who you surround yourself with is so important to your mindset. I said this a few episodes ago. Your brain is a powerful machine. It is picking up on things that you hear every day, that you see every day. If you hear and see negativity, your brain will absorb it. I can't stress this enough. If you have friends who you feel uncomfortable around, who you feel like they're being mean to you, who you feel like you can't trust, please trust your gut instinct at least. Thank you. Okay, so we have come to the end of the party yaddy. If you enjoyed today's episode, feel free to follow the podcast and leave a 5-star rating on Spotify, please. And share it with someone you think who might enjoy it. If there's ever a topic you'd like for me to discuss, please, I would love to hear from you. Leave a comment. You can find kind of everything on Spotify for audio episodes and on YouTube for the full video and audio experience. Actually, I think Spotify isn't just audio. I also upload the video on there too. So you can watch and listen, whichever you wanna. Until next time, take care of yourself and please, 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 I say this all the time, be kind to yourself. Say bye-bye, Tommy. God, it's so heavy. Bye-bye. I'll see you soon. Bye.